Okay, let's get started. So, any reflections from the last week? Anything anybody wants to talk or share? Did you thought about this four coordinates we talked about? How people make money, how they live their lives. Either it's employee, self-employed, business owner, or investor, and how the cash flows you know happens how the cash flows for the people who are under poor, middle class and rich category. Did you done any thought thinking around this, and did you discussed anything with your parents or friends? Anything you want to share, or any questions you have in general related to this?
But business owner is the same thing as a CEO, right?
No, it is not. CEO is appointed by, it could be an appointed by a business owner. For example, I started a banking business, and then I want to retire from my own business, and I bring in somebody from the external as a CEO. For example, Google was founded by Larry Page and another guy. They were the founders, and Larry was the CEO until last 5 6 years. And then Larry brought in Sundar Pichai as a CEO. So, but Larry still owns 30% of the Google. So,
So Larry Page is a business owner of Google.
yeah, 30% business owner of the Google. Yes.
So CEO is kind of like the heir, and just like
Yeah, he's the one who is being employed to run the business. But
he's not like the founder or the actual original business owner.
yeah, exactly. So Sundar Pichai was the employee of the Google. He was working with Larry Page for quite a long time, and he nominated Sundar Pichai as a owner, sorry, CEO. And in the return, Sundar Pichai is paid in millions as a salary, as also some shares. So they typically motivates the CEOs to run the business by giving shares, because then CEOs work hard to make more profits for the business. Hence, CEOs share value also goes up, right? So this is one of the great ideas from psychology. We would talk about incentives, how this world runs around incentives, but we will talk about it in the future. But that's an interesting idea that we should keep in our mind, how incentives runs the world. But that was a good one to know. So it may not be, not all the CEOs are the business owners. So business owners can bring in somebody else to run the business, while the business owner sitting in the back and doing nothing, right? So, and Larry Page officially left from the Google. He also resigned from the chairman of Alphabet, the parent company of Google. That's just an example. You see many such examples in other businesses. Any other questions? Did you thought about what you want to become when you grow up? Any reflections on your own thinking, which one you like the most, E, S, B, or I, or do you have any preference?
I or B.
I've always wanted to be B.
B or
Business
I.
owner.
I want to be a B. I want to be a business owner, but also be an investor at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. And if I'm free, I would like probably have like a self-employed job,
Okay.
just like a hobby thing.
Probably I.
Okay.
Yeah, I or B.
Good.
But I doesn't always make more money than B. It still depends.
Yeah, it
Because
still depends.
the investor might not make a lot of money. He might make like $1 a time.
Yeah, it all
But the
depends.
business owner can make a lot of time.
Yeah, it all depends. Depends on how much ownership you have in a given business, how the given business performing. So, for example, um, I think you must know Warren Buffett, right? He bought 6% of Coca-Cola. So every Coke we are drinking every day or in the world, anybody drinking, he gets a tiny percentage of profit out of that. So he invested in Coke. He don't run the company. He don't do anything. He don't do anything about Coca-Cola. He just owns the shares. He's been owning since 1986, and he made a ton of money out of that investment. So he was just an investor, but he bought a Coke at a very cheap price when they were going through the crisis. So yeah,
Is
investor.
Warren Buffett is the CEO of Heathrow Bankways, right?
Berkshire Hathaway.
Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah, he's the CEO of the Berkshire Hathaway, but Berkshire Hathaway also invests in businesses. So they
What
have
does
their own.
Berkshire Hathaway do?
They are predominantly into insurance business, but they have 80 other businesses under one umbrella, one company. So they have a ice cream business. They have a aeroplane manufacturing, engine manufacturing business. They have railroads. They have. They also invested in quite a lot of other companies.
Can I ask you? It even owns Apple.
Yes, Berkshire Hathaway
Who
also
knows?
owns. Yeah. But in general, coming back to the question Trinu asked, so it depends on how much you owns, Trinu. So if an investor owns good amount of given business as shares, and if that business does really good, then he could also make tons of money. But you are right. Business owners also makes a lot of money if the business the owner started grows up. Look at the Walmart family. They started with one store in 1945, and now they have around 5,000 to 10,000 stores across the world. So business also makes a lot of business owners also makes a lot of money.
So we
Okay.
need to be smart about what we invest in. So it's not just any company, and it's also
Yeah,
like
but
the right time. That
mostly when business makers they make a thing, like make a company, then they don't get all the ideas themselves. They ask more and more people for advice. But an investor doesn't do that. He buys the stocks alone. Like the Walmart family, it's a whole family. It's like 5 people. An investor can get a lot of money by himself. He doesn't need a family for it.
investor can also ask for advice. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you become a business owner? Do you start as a self-employed person and then hire people and then your company grows? Or do you just buy a company?
Yeah, it can happen in many ways, right? So I'm getting.
Or do we just buy the company, like buy Apple? Like how Tata bought.
I think it's everything is echoing because I think Anvik and Hari Uncle is in the same room. I think maybe by accident
No,
because
no, we
everything
are
is
not.
echoing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it okay now? So, no, I mean, yeah, you could start a small business and then it can grow. For example, Amazon started as a 10 people business in Seattle long in 1996, and it grown drastically over the time. So now 10 people companies employing around 300 400,000 people. So it all the scalability of the business. We will talk about scalability of the business in the future. But a business need to have a business model through which they make money. So we would see that a business model today. So business model is one of the key ideas one need to understand. Either you are an investor or business owner or a self-employed. Even some extent employee should also understand the business model. Business model is the key idea how the businesses are running in the real life. So we will see that in today's session about the business model. It connects back to this idea of 4 categories we talked about, and then we deep dive into business world and understand how the business world works from the business model lens. So we are going to wear a lens called a business model. It's a lens through which we should look at the businesses, how they work. I see. Lokeet, you have another question?
No, I forgot to raise my hand. Sorry.
Okay, fair enough. So I see it's a good discussion, and it's always good you reflect on what we have discussed and reflect back to your own life to see where do you see how do you see the world around you and yourself, and then let's jump in. I realized you guys are more curious to understand the business from the last session. Hence, I thought, okay, let me jump. As you see, our sessions are not going in one direction. It's juggling around different disciplines, right? Until last week, we were talking about bubbles, stock market, and inflation, hyperinflation. Those are coming from the economy world. Now we would deep dive into business world and understand how business world works from the business models point of view. So I just want to show you a video through which you should able to understand. But before I go into the video, I just want to briefly explain this different boxes we have here. I guess I want you to understand the terms, because sometimes if you don't understand the terms, you can't follow the video, right? So I guess you understand the customer and customer segment. Segment is nothing but group of people, and customer is the customer of any given business, right? If you have a pizza shop around the corner, the customers are the people who are going and buying pizza in the pizza shop, right? Those are the customer. And there could be multiple segments, right? Customers from the college, customers from school, customers from the working during the daytime, people who are working in outside, a constructor worker, or all these different kind of working people comes to pizza area and buys the pizza, right? So these are the different customer segments the pizza shop is serving. And the revenue is the term. It's like the money the business makes. It's called revenue. I don't know if you heard this term before. This is the term when the company makes money. We call it a revenue. Streams is nothing but different ways the company makes money. So basically, business have a customers, and then they generate money, revenue streams in different ways. If you look at the pizza shop, they sells the pizza at same time they have a freezer with Coke and Pepsi, and they sell all different kind of juices. So for pizza shop, they have 2 streams of revenues. One is selling pizzas. Second is selling cool drinks or soft drinks. Of course, in Denmark, they also sell beer, right? So any drinks that they are selling, that's a second stream of revenue money that they are making. So then the customer relationship is basically how they are managing the customers, how they are serving their customers. And then the channels is how they are selling this, whatever the service the business is providing through the different channels. For example, pizza shop may have a just eat service, so people Just Eat guys. I mean, if I'm sitting at my home, I can call a number at a Just Eat, and then they can go and pick up the pizza for me and deliver it to my home. So Just Eat or the online food delivery companies are the channels through which these pizza guys are selling the pizza. So these are the different ways the business selling their services. This is called channels. And
Wait,
the
so
yeah,
Just Eat is a channel of some pizza companies or
exactly,
any food companies.
exactly.
Okay.
So then value proposition is value proposition. So what is the value that this business is creating, you know? So pizza shop value proposition is that they are giving fast food. So you just go and order a pizza within 5-10 minutes, you get the food delivered, and it could be a tasty pizza that you have eaten, right? So that's the reason. And it's also convenience for people who are working. They don't need to carry their food, and they don't need to spend a lot of time to make food. Now they can just go to pizza shop. So that's the value. This is the value that any business is providing. It's called a value proposition. So what is the value that this business, what is the uniqueness of this business? That's the key term. What is the uniqueness of this business? That is, we have many pizza shops, right? We have Domino's, we have local Italian pizza shops. Why people goes to Domino's comparing to local Italian pizza shops?
Because
So
Domino's is famous all over the world.
yeah, it's a value proposition that give, you know, the taste and the texture and all this uniqueness that the Domino's brings to the table. It's also the branding, as you mentioned, because I've eaten Domino's in somewhere else. I like the, you know, this is also association, right? Some people have association with the brand. Hey, I eat only Domino's pizza because I like Domino's. So they have a unique customers who always wants to eat.
But it's not only Italian pizza they sell there, so.
Yeah, exactly. So value proposition is something a business brings to the table towards their customer, right? That's the called value proposition. And this is next thing is cost. Revenue is the money they make out of selling pizza, but the cost is, you know, how much it costs to buy them the dough, and you know, all the ingredients that they have to put on top of cheese and tomatoes, tomato sauce, etc., etc. All the things that, and the employees oven, that consuming power, and the place where they're renting out the shop, all this falls under structure. What are the costs for the
Yep.
business?
But Domino's is a very big company, so Domino's might not only have to rent; they can also buy it.
Exactly. That's also something we would able to understand if we look at from the business model point of view, how Domino's making money versus my local pizzerian guy. So it's also scalability thing, right? So why not my local pizzerian guy become another Domino's? Why can't, what is stopping him to do that? So those are the questions we would be asking ourselves when we are analyzing the business, and these are the different things we would see. I would show you some examples of big businesses that, you know, Facebook, Google. We will go through the business models of those quickly so you understand all these terms with respect to the big businesses that you see on daily basis. So we have a value proposition, we have cost structure. So basically cost is something that they're spending for making those services to the customer or to make the product. And the key resources are the for a pizza shop, the key resources could be a oven where they make the pizza, right? End of the day, you need to have a proper oven to cook the pizza. So those are the key, and you need different supplies like tomato sauce and those are the key resources. And the key activities, what is the key activities of pizza shop, pizza business, pizzerian? So the key activities, you have a guy, a chef or whatever you can call the guy who makes the pizzas, and that's the key activity. And then you have a sales guy who sells the pizzas, at the counter, and then you have a guy who looks after the overall shop with respect to cleaning and making sure everything is in the right place. So those are the key activities that you could think of for a simple pizzerian business. But every business is different, and every business have their own key activities. For example, if you look at the Apple, when they make iPhones, key resources are all the factories and the patents they have. Key activities are designing the beautiful iPhone the customer fall in love with, right? So those are the key activities. And key partners, not every business can run everything by themselves, so they need a partners to help with, right? So if I have a if I'm the pizza owner, if I'm running pizza shop or shops, I need a partners who supplies the raw materials that I required for me to make a pizza on daily basis, right? I need a very good partners who provides me quality ingredients required by the pizza. So we call them partners. So those are the key partners who supporting business to run and help the business to function as it's required. So these are the terms. You would hear these terms again in the future when I'm talking about different businesses. But I hope this explains these terms. Any questions on these terms? Anything that you have a doubt or anything that required clarification?
So all the businesses don't like have all of these terms, right?
Exactly. So when you say somebody has a human, he is supposed to have a brain and two legs and all the basic things. So business should have all these basic building blocks. Without of these building blocks, you can't even say that it's a business. It should have some kind of revenues. It should have some kind of cost. It should have some kind of customers. Otherwise, it would not be a business, because then they would never make money. So if you see here, customers buys the product and they pay money, and then that becomes a revenue, and then it goes to the factories, activities, and partners. It becomes a cost. So you're right. Without these building blocks, uh, business won't run function. So these are different, you could say, in biology world, different organs a business has inside its body. Yeah, somebody has a question, please go ahead. So now you have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you see, on the page we're on, business model to understand the business around us, we see there's like key partners, key activities, all these key resources and all that. So one business, a business like a company,
Yeah,
has all of these, right?
yes, they have these building blocks. Yes.
So then I just wanted to understand them again. So customer segments is like in a pizza shop, there's one area is like pizza, and the other is they can also get money from soft drinks or soda.
Yep.
And then channels is like other companies helping them.
Yes.
So that's like so that they can deliver the food.
Yes.
And then revenue streams. What exactly is revenue stream like? Shares of the company.
No. When customer, you and me, when we go to the shop, we pay them money, right? That's the money they are getting. That's called revenue. When you buy a pizza for 100 or 150 kron, that's the revenue. When you buy a soda, that's the revenue.
Isn't it the way they're getting money? Like,
yes,
through, for example, for a pizza shop, it's through pizza and the drinks, you said?
Exactly. So revenue.
And customer relationships is like people who work there.
Yeah, how you interact, how do you engage your customer, right? If a customer comes to me, I don't receive them properly, I keep my a customer experience very bad, the customer would not come to my shop next time.
So
Or
a
if
good
I
company has all of these and they're very good at it. Like key resources, like a pizza shop should have pizzas and key activities.
no
That
pizza,
is
key resources is for pizza shop to make pizzas. That's it could be oven, right?
Wait, so
yeah, oven, pizza bread.
Yeah, exactly.
So is key partners like the people that give you shares or like co-founders?
No, key partners are the, I think Lognath, from your side there is a glow. Yeah, key partners are the guys who are helping to make a pizza. So if I have a pizza shop, key partners are the suppliers who are supplying ingredients for me to make a pizza. What are the ingredients required for making pizza? You need a dough, you need a tomato sauce, you need a good cheese, and you need whatever spicy things that the sausages. I think sausages what they provide on top of it. So these are the suppliers.
Pepperoni.
Yeah, exactly. So these are the guys who are supplying things for me. When I'm owning pizza shop, I'm not going to make a tomato sauce. I'm not going to make a dough. I'm not going to make this sausages. Of course, I may make some sausages, but not all of them. So I'm buying from my partners who are good at doing that, and then I'm mixing those ingredients from my partners and making pizza.
So can you have
So in a pizza shop, the dough they don't buy the dough. They actually make the dough. Everything else they buy raw, but the dough they make themselves.
Yeah, whatever the
Uh,
powder, whatever it is. Yeah,
but if you're self-employed, right?
yeah.
And you said a business has to like have the main things, and you have they like it's only called a business if you have these terms. Then what if you don't have key partners and you're the only one running the business and it's successful?
Yeah, there are very few businesses you can run. For example,
Like
yeah,
maybe a lemonade stand that actually then it's really successful, like a lemonade stand you just made by yourself.
yeah, but the problem, any business required partners. For example, I'm not going to make sugar even when I'm owning lemonade stand. I'm not going to make lemons. Lemons are produced by farmers, so I
But you
have a
can buy it, right? Like yourself.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So key partners are the people from whom I am buying these things.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
so do they sponsor your business then?
No, they are not sponsors business. They are like any other key partners. For example, iPhone, Apple, right? Apple has 100 to 150 parts in the phone, and they have partners. Memory is produced by one company, and the screen, touch screen for the iPhones are produced by one another company, and processor within iPhone is produced by another company. So these are the partners who are helping Apple to make the beautiful product called iPhone.
Oh, okay.
So partners are the people who are helping to make the value proposition which we are aiming to provide to our customer. I think you would understand them better once you run through some businesses, and let's revisit them again if you are not clear about any of this once you understood some business models. Any other questions?
Hari, this is Naveen.
Yeah, hi Naveen.
Hi. Yeah. For example, whoever asked the question about this one, for example, to run a lemonade shop, we need regular supply of lemonades, right? We cannot produce them all the seasons. For example, we can procure them from the local market for a certain season in summer, probably. But after summer, what happens? We don't get them in within Denmark, so we need to procure them from outside Denmark. So partners are the ones who help us procuring them from other places where they produce them year around. Okay, that could be a good example.
Yeah, thanks Naveen. So just let's look at this video and try to understand this for a real business, and then we could revisit with some examples of the. Can you hear the audio? Let me
Yes.
just.
Yes.
This is the business model canvas. It's just what Beth and Carl will need to craft a powerful business model, and it can do the same for you. Let's dive in and see how it works. There are 9 essential building blocks that make up any business model. When you get all 9 blocks working together, you'll have answered the fundamental questions any business model must solve. We'll start here with customer segments. These are all the people or organizations for which you're creating value. For each segment, you have a specific value proposition. These are the bundles of products and services that create value for your customers. Channels describe through which touchpoints you're interacting with customers and delivering value. The customer relationships outline the types of relationships you're establishing with your customers and how you're acquiring and retaining them. Pricing mechanisms through which your business model captures value are documented under revenue streams. The key resources show which assets are indispensable in your business model, so you can describe the infrastructure you need to create, deliver, and capture value. The key activities show which things you need to be able to perform well. The key partners show who can help you leverage your business model, since you won't own all key resources yourself, nor will you perform all key activities. And once you understand your business model's infrastructure, you'll also have an idea of its cost structure. Any business model can be mapped this way: 9 building blocks working to reinforce and strengthen each other. But before you make a model for yourself, it helps to see what a breakthrough business model looks like in action, like this one. Low-cost airlines revolutionized air travel thanks to their disruptive business model. Let's first look at their value proposition. A low-cost airline offers ultra-cheap flights to their main customer segment, budget travelers, by adopting a no-frills policy. And this leads to additional revenue streams because customers pay for their ticket and additional fees on items like food and drink, priority boarding, and luggage. The airlines save even more money through their choice of channels, selling only through call centers and the internet, making for efficient, if not always convenient, customer relationships that are automated and often impersonal. Okay, that covers the right side of the canvas, the part everyone can see. The left side of the canvas is what's going on backstage. Like their choice of key resources, they reduce maintenance and training costs by using a single aircraft model for the whole fleet. And they only fly to cheap airports where it's cost efficient to land or where they even get paid to touch down. Planes that do land have quick turnarounds, so they get back in the air earning money as quickly as possible. And they form key partnerships with others in the travel industry, like car rental, hotel, and insurance companies. Finally, under cost structures, all maintenance, training, airport, and call center costs are trimmed to their lowest levels. All of these pieces working together make their fares almost impossible for traditional airlines to compete with. There's nothing superior about these airlines except their business models. They're reaching an entirely new segment of travelers out of reach for traditional airlines. Cutting out costs is pretty exciting, right? But wait, just because it's successful for discount airlines doesn't mean it will work for your idea. Luckily, the business model canvas allows you to iterate many models and test them quickly. Let's get started with your own business idea.
Yeah, basically, business model framework would also help you to develop your own businesses. I understood some of you mentioned B, you want to become a business owner. Before you become a business owner, you should have a solid business model to understand what exact business problem you are trying to solve, how you are going to solve, and who are your customers, how you are going to make money, and what is your value proposition. So this business model canvas or this lens which we are talking today would help you for B. I'm bringing this ESBI coordinates in each slide, so it always remind us what we are talking, right? So if you
But is
see
it
here,
possible to make a good company without using one of the 9 what's it called, 9 steps or
building
building blocks?
it may I would not say impossible, but I would say it won't make a good business. You may start it, but you may not succeed uh, because of you're missing one of the key ingredient in the overall. I mean, can I make a pizza without a very good sauce? Yes, I can make a pizza, but it may not taste as a very good pizza, right? So this would help you to become good at B. At same time, it also help you to become good at I. When you are investing any business, it's always very good to understand the business model as an investor to see, hey, is this business model doing the right thing for the customer? Is this business model going to sustain? Is this business model going to be there after 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now? So those are the key questions that would help us to answer when we understand the business model of the company which we want to invest. And it also help you in self employed coordinate. For example, if you want to start your own pizzerian shop, but you are running it by yourself, you are the master chef of the pizza shop. There you are acting as a self-employed, but at same time, when you are acting as a self-employed, you should also understand the business model. And if you are working in a big corporation or a big company, there also you need to understand the business model, because end of the day, everybody who works for a big organization, they are trying to work in one of these building blocks to solve the business problem. So all the employee, self-employed, business and investor coordinates required the basic understanding of the business model. Hence, this is a very good tool for you to look at the businesses from the business owner point of view, look at the businesses from investor point of view, or look at the business as an employee working for a company, look at the businesses as a self-employed when you are owning and running it by yourself. So so let's any questions from the um, video? So I want to use the whiteboard now. I just want to show you one basic idea. Some issue with my just bear with me. My Apple Pencil is not connecting.
There's a whiteboard in Teams.
Yeah, it's not as convenient as writing with a pencil.
Yeah, Apple Pencil is like
Okay.
So imagine this is one business model, right? So we have all these building blocks which we talked about. So this is one business model. For key partners, KP, I call them KP. These key partners could be a customer for another business model. For this business, the key partners uh, are customers for this business. Like I was telling example of iPhone, the people who manufactures the touch screen company, they are, for them Apple is the customer. So this is a customer app for them. Okay. So likewise, for this customer, because how the glass is made, they need silica, right, to make a glass. So for them, another business is a partner or customer. Likewise, I'm trying to draw the web of all the businesses connected together. Do you get this point? My pencil is giving me troubles here, but this is how it's a web of businesses connected together. For one it's a partner, for another it's a customer, for one it's a partner, so you can connect back. So for example, this is a glass company, touch screen glass company. For them, Apple is the customer. For Apple, touch screen glass company is a partner. For the touch screen glass company, silica that required for making the glass is uh, a partner. This is a partner, key partner. This company who mines the silica, it may be mining the silica in Argentina or China or Chile in North America, South America. So for that company, for this company, silica mining company, touch screen glass company is a key partner, because for them this is a customer.
But key partners can also be somewhere else. You know the one where there's extra channels?
Yep.
Like, for example, Apple, Amazon might be a channel for Apple, because Amazon it's a company, but it's also itself. It also does shipping, and it sends in airplanes too.
Exactly. So this is
So,
mm,
so could Amazon also be a key partner of Apple?
yes, definitely. It's not a partner. They are not partners as such. They are channels.
Yeah.
Partners is something who are helping you make the products. Channels is something who are helping you to ship the products to your end customers.
So
in that,
is it in real life? Is Amazon a channel of Apple?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So my point here is these business models are not standing alone. They are connected to each other. So when you are understanding one business model, you are basically connecting the dots of this business model with another business model. This how the whole ecosystem of businesses works. All the, if you remember 2-3 sessions ago when we were talking about stock exchanges, I was telling you in India we have 3,500 to 4,000 businesses that are listed in BSE and NSE. All those businesses that are listed have some kind of business model, and they have connected to other business models. So that's how you need to view this world of businesses. They have some kind of model, and they are connected to each other by means of helping each other to make the services we are seeing. So for example, when you look at iPhone now, you are basically, Apple is bringing the phone to you as a company manufacturing it, but behind that Apple company there are tons of businesses, not tons, at least 150 business models that are working towards making that product called Apple iPhone. So likewise, all these businesses are connected. So that's one important thing we need to understand, that these businesses are not living alone. They are connected to each other. Okay, let's go back here. Any questions from anybody? So I see we have only 15 minutes. Let's go back and see some of the business models. I have business models here. This is McDonald's.
Yeah, can we do McDonald's?
And we have Netflix. We have BMW car company business model, and we have Walmart. We have Amazon, we have Nike, and we have Southwest Airlines. This is same like Ryanair in Europe. You must have traveled through those.
Remember in the
Yeah,
video
yeah.
we saw that airline?
Yeah.
What was it called again?
It's either Southwest or in US it's called Southwest.
It said cheap. It was something called. It said that on the.
It was
Yeah.
called
Cheap
Discount
Airlines.
Airlines. It was
Oh,
called
it's a Discount Airlines. Is that a real airline?
No, it isn't. I think it's just like a cheap airline.
Yeah, it's just
Like
an
a
example.
It's an example airline. It's not real.
For what they were saying, like cheap airline, so discount would be a good word probably. So that's all.
So let's go back and look at McDonald's. Okay, so this is the business model of McDonald's. So let's look at from the right side, customer segments. So the people who these are working labor, these are constructing people, and these are the families. During the daytime when the McDonald's is running, families are busy working. Kids are going to schools and family working for companies. They are not the one coming and eating food at McDonald's. Of course, if the McDonald's is nearby school or college, maybe kids come and eat. But in general, during the daytime, this is working people who are working, constructor worker or any different kind of people who comes. And then these are the business people. So these are different kinds of customer segments they have, where they serve pizzas. And when they are selling pizzas, they are not just selling pizzas, right? They are selling coffees and all smoothies, whatnot, whatever you get it in McDonald's. Whenever we are paying that money, that becomes a revenue for McDonald's. And then they have a distributed channels. Distributed channels is franchising. So McDonald's is franchising these models across the world. For example, in Denmark, probably there are a couple of guys who took the franchise of McDonald's brand and McDonald's. I don't know if you heard this word,
Why does it
franchise.
say strategic partners instead of saying key partners? Is it the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing. In this world, you have different terms being introduced at different times. So yeah, these are the one and the same, but they use different terms. So then they have a customer relationships through which they build a relationship to the customer, right? So when you listen to radio, they talk about we are giving you offer, blah blah blah. So they do the marketing, and at same time they make the experience of the people who are visiting McDonald's feel different. So they have this they experience. Before, they used to have a long queues to order hamburger. Now they have touch screens, so you don't need to wait in long queue. You could just use the touch screen by which you can order. And the customer experience got better by introducing touch screens. So likewise, they are building this customer relationships in order to improve the customer experience. That in terms of the visit of the McDonald's, at same time also the taste of different varieties the customer can get. Until recently, there was no vegan hamburger at McDonald's, but I saw that now they are also providing vegan, vegetarian hamburger. So these are the things they are building, learning, and improving over the time by getting the feedback loops from the customer. That's also another important idea we need to remember. Feedback loops are the something that gives you feedback of a given service, and then you could improve your service based on the feedback from the customer.
Remember you were saying, for example, in the pizza shop, there's pizza and then there's soda. Which building block does that count as? Is that customer segments?
No, that's
That's revenues.
uh, those are the products that the pizza shop is selling. So
Which building block is that?
it could be key activities.
Oh yeah, but one of the reasons maybe McDonald's is very successful is they keep on making new things. Like in key activities, a pizza shop, maybe Domino's, it only has it's a pizza and sodas. But McDonald's has proper food, and then it has soda, and then they have snacks, and they also have desserts.
Yeah, we would come to that. You would be surprised when I tell you that McDonald's, the real McDonald's company, is not making money, lot of money by the food they are selling. Uh, they are not making real money. The money they are making is by selling franchises. I'll give you the movie name in the chart later. There was a movie made on the founder. But the key success of McDonald's is the franchise is the real estate under the McDonald's franchise is owned by this corporation in US, and this land is appreciated over the time. So these McDonald's shops that are started in 1960s, that value increased drastically over the time. So the money they are making is from the land, the real estate gains plus the franchise. So when you go to the nearest McDonald's, it may be owned by franchisee. Franchise is something somebody pay some royalty to the main McDonald's company to franchise their brand and their food. So for example, if I want to get a McDonald's franchise, I could go and request McDonald's. They would take some deposit from me in order to give me the franchise. A deposit is the money you have to deposit with the parent company, and they bring everything to you. So you could be a self-employed owning this franchise of McDonald's. You are using the McDonald's brand, and your McDonald's is giving you all the equipment, and McDonald's is giving you all the ingredients to make the pizza, hamburger and coffee, everything. But in return, every revenue, every dollar or DKK you are making, he would get a 20-30% profit to the parent company. It's called franchising. So McDonald's predominantly making money through the lands they are owning under the McDonald's shed or the shop, and the franchise they are selling. When you give it to franchise, all the fixed cost is paid by the franchisor who got the franchise.
So is
And
franchise like advertisements?
no, we would talk about franchising in future sessions. In basic terms, franchising is something you would go and license to sell the McDonald's brand or the services. So you need to put an we need so basically McDonald's is selling their uh, uh, um, key infrastructure with respect to how to make a very good hamburger with ingredients to anybody who wants to open a McDonald's anywhere in the world. That's the reason you see lot of McDonald's across the world. In China, they have in thousands. In India, we have some hundreds, thousands, maybe thousands soon. And in all the countries, the reason they are doing that is by franchising this to the people who are interested to start their own McDonald's shop. Um, the way by doing that, they are able to scale up the business. That's one thing. So they can start 1,000 shops, 1,000 McDonald's outlets in 1 year without spending single penny from their pocket. In fact, franchisors are giving them money. So franchisors in basic terms is the guys the business owners who wants to start their own McDonald's with the McDonald's brand. Same with Starbucks, they have Starbucks franchising, and same with any other Domino's have similar concept. So this is somebody who wants to start same as McDonald's, and they go and partner with McDonald's too, and in return they get the tiny profit from that.
Wait, so McDonald's gets it or the franchisers?
Both. So if I'm a franchisor of McDonald's, if I sell one hamburger, if that hamburger costs 20 crore, okay. So the way I have a contract with the McDonald Corporation in a way that first in this 20 crore hamburger, 15, 10, 12 crore goes for the ingredients, right? So the cost of making hamburger, they take out that one. The raw profit they have, let's say 8 crore, they have a profit percentage. Corporate McDonald Corporation can say to the franchise, depends on the contract they have signed. In the raw profit you make after the costs, expenses, you have to pay me 20%. So 8 crore, 20% is how much? 2 crore.
Wait,
Yeah.
what did you ask?
How much is the 20% of 8 crore?
That is
That is
1.6 ton. 1.6 ton. No.
2.
1.6.
Yeah, that's what I said. 1.6 kroner.
Yeah. So that's every
Look at me, your mic.
yeah. They get 1.6 20% profit sharing. That's 1.6 crore for every hamburger they made. The good part is this corporation, they did not put any money. It's a franchisee who put all the money to build the shop, and they paid the ingredients. And they, because this franchisor using the brand name and the key ingredients that makes McDonald's hamburger, and they are using the McDonald's brand, uh, he's been paid 1.6 crore for every hamburger they are selling. So that's how the business models works, right? You need to understand how these companies are making money by understanding the business models. This is just one example of McDonald's, how they make money.
This has nothing to do with McDonald's, but what about like theme parks? Is that like counted as a business?
Yes, theme parks
Then
also. Yeah.
how do they have distribution channels or something like that?
Yes. Theme parks have similar. So if you look at
Tivoli, maybe?
yeah, Tivoli or Lalandia or what is this, Legoland. If you go and the key customers for them is the children, right? Kids. And the way they try to get this channeled is, if you go and buy Kellogg's, how many of you eaten Kellogg's?
What is that?
It's
The
it's a food.
cereal. It's like
Yeah,
the cereal.
cereal. Yeah, cornflakes,
Oh,
Kellogg's.
Kellogg's.
On their box, they would say that if you visit a Legoland or whatever Tivoli, they have this marketing happening all the time. So that's one of the channels. So what they are doing is, theme park guys, Legoland, Lalandia guys, they are targeting their customers using these channels as boxes. When Kellogg's makes this box, cereal box, on that they would advertise. What does the kid do when he's eating cereals? He look at that and says that, Mama, let's go to Lalandia. Mama, let's go to Legoland.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's how this works. But that's also channel example, as you asked, how they
And they
do
also
this.
earn money by like the food, like
Exactly.
restaurants and hotels they make in
Yes, exactly.
with food stops.
So I'm introducing you to this tool in order for you to have a fun, to understand the businesses around you, and make this simple business model canvas for all the businesses that you see around. And we would have some fun to discuss them in the future sessions. I would really love to get your views of some of the businesses. I think there are tons of businesses that you could analyze. I just give few examples, obvious ones that you can see, but you could look at many businesses around you and try to map them to this business model canvas, and then try to understand how this guy is really making money. there are two things that are happening when you are doing this. One thing is you are trying to you are understanding the businesses, how they work. Second thing is that also gives you an idea how to start a business. Third thing is it also helps you to become a investor when you want to invest in any business. As an investor, it's a very good tool to map a business model of the company where you want to invest. So there are a couple of things that are happening with this business model canvas that would help you guide you in the future. But let's talk about them in the future session, during future sessions. So any questions? So now you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
For Netflix, like, does Netflix get money for streaming other, I don't know, series and episodes, or is it the opposite way?
In both ways, right? If you remember Netflix 3-4 years ago, I don't know if you saw the Netflix early stage, they used to procure series from other production companies like Disney or Pixar and all those guys who makes these great movies.
Yeah.
Now what Netflix realized is they are spending a lot of money to procure those assets. They call this digital assets, and then they started producing their own series. That's the reason you
Yeah,
see
the
in
Netflix
Wait.
originals.
Exactly.
Oh,
So
yeah, but is Pixar a key partner of Disney? Then that makes sense, right? Because in
It
every
is.
Disney movie, most of the Disney movies, most of them, it says Pixar in the beginning.
yeah, Pixar is owned by Disney.
Oh, but is Pixar the production company?
Yes, there is a funny story behind Pixar. I think we talked about it, right? Steve Jobs, when he was fired from Apple, he went and started Pixar during 1986. And he built this company from 1986 to 1994. And then when he came back to Apple company in 1996, 98, he sold Pixar to Disney. So yeah, Pixar was a company started by Steve Jobs, and they started producing these Toy Stories. I don't know if you remember Toy Story 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the unique way of making cartoons comparing to Disney. So
The
then Disney,
animations are very different. If it's
exactly.
Pixar, it's more like 3D, I guess.
Exactly. Then Disney, Steve Jobs sold the company to Disney. Now it's part of Disney. But this is interesting things that you see once you understand the business models, how people building the businesses from scratch, how they are selling it off, and how they are making tons of money. At same time, it also helps you to choose the career, right? When you choose a career, you would it also helps you. Is this the career I want to choose, where I feel that I like the business model, or the companies when you're going to work? So there are multiple usages of this business model canvas when you start using it. It's like it's one of the tool you should have in your toolbox for life, to understand the world around you. Taran, you have a question? Okay. Are there any questions before we close? I know this is an interesting topic. We would dig deep into these topics in the future sessions. I would spend at least 1 or 2 sessions on this, and I would really like you to start
Harry?
making. Yeah.
Harry?
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter has a question. Her name is Sej. Please go ahead.
So if you go to Google, you have to search for YouTube. So Google might be a key partner as well a channel.
Yes, that's correct. That's how the Google is making tons of money, by becoming partner or channel for many other businesses around the world. You're right.
And can I tell you a fact?
Yeah.
Google, most of Google's money comes from ads.
Yeah, exactly. That's the how they make money. They don't make money from the search. They make money from the ads. Okay. hope you had fun, and we would revisit these business models one by one, and let's digest this how this business models works, and then hopefully we will make some business models together by looking at the some businesses. And you could also do it yourself with your parents or friends for fun, so it helps you. It has multiple usages in the future when you want to become going back to this 4 coordinates. If you want to become business owner, it would help you. If you want to become an investor, it would help you. If you want to become a self-employed or employee, it also helps you. So it's one of
But it's
these
not so
tools.
easy, right?
Yeah, at the beginning it would not. Once you start analyzing at least 20 businesses with this canvas, it gets easy, and it becomes a second nature when you look at the business. Okay, thank you for this week, and we will talk next week. Have a good Sunday.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
See you next week.
Thank you. Bye. See
Bye.
you next week.
Thank you.